Imagine this. You're watching Netflix, scrolling your phone, living your normal life. Then boom, everything goes black. No lights, no heat, no running water, no way to buy food. And it's not coming back for weeks, maybe months. What would you do? Here's the terrifying truth. Most people would make fatal mistakes in the first few hours that would turn a survivable situation into a complete disaster. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 10 most dangerous mistakes people make during blackouts. These aren't just theories. These are lessons learned from real blackouts, like the Texas freeze of 2021 and Hurricane Maria, where millions of people learned the hard way that our modern world only works when the grid does. Welcome to Food Fixer, where we prepare you for anything life throws your way. If you want to protect yourself and your family when disaster strikes, smash that like button and hit subscribe, because the knowledge I'm about to share could literally save your life. The biggest lie people tell themselves when the power goes out is that it'll be back on soon. That single thought, that normalcy bias, is what gets people killed. Because while you're standing at the window waiting for answers, scrolling through your dying phone or lighting candles for ambiance, the clock is ticking. And every minute you waste is a minute closer to real danger. Let me paint a picture of what actually happens when the grid goes down. Within hours of the 2003 Northeast blackout, entire cities saw traffic gridlock, empty store shelves, and ATM failures. After Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, water lines stretched for miles within just one day. The lesson? The second the lights go out, you need to act as if you won't have them back for at least 72 hours. So what should you actually do in that critical first hour? First, fill every container with water. I'm talking sinks, bathtubs, buckets, pitchers. Anything that can hold water needs to be filled before pressure drops or contamination sets in. Next, charge all devices and battery packs. Power up phones, radios, flashlights, and any rechargeable batteries while you still can. Then, cook or eat perishables. Focus on foods that won't survive without refrigeration. Check on vulnerable neighbors or family before roads and phone lines get clogged. And if you need more supplies, go now before the rush hits. The first hour is the difference between being in control and being in crisis. Use it wisely. Now let's talk about the mistakes that can kill you, starting with something almost everyone does wrong. Mistake number 10, raiding the fridge. When the power goes out, most people's first instinct is to open the fridge, maybe for a snack, maybe just to check what's inside. But every time you open that door, you're letting out the precious cold air that keeps your food safe. According to USDA guidelines, a refrigerator keeps food safe for about 4 hours without power, but only if it stays unopened. A full freezer can last about 48 hours under the same conditions. But here's the kicker. Each time you peek inside, you're shaving hours off that safety window. Why does this matter? In a blackout, spoiled food can't be easily replaced, and medical care may be hard to access. Food poisoning becomes a real threat. So treat your fridge like Fort Knox. Tape it shut if you have to. Make a list of what's inside so you don't have to open it to check. When you do need to eat perishables, do it strategically. Start with dairy, then meats, then frozen goods. And have a cooler and ice packs ready to transfer essentials if the outage drags on. Mistake number 9, lighting up the wrong way. Candles seem like the perfect cozy solution when the lights go out, but they're actually a leading cause of house fires during blackouts. According to the National Fire Protection Association, candles cause over 7,600 house fires annually in the U.S., with massive spikes during power outages. Think about it. One bump from a pet, one curious child, or one moment of sleepy clumsiness can turn your blackout into a full-blown structure fire. Plus, candles provide terrible lighting. That weak, flickering glow creates shadows everywhere, increasing your risk of trips and falls. And running open flames for hours or days around pets, kids, or tired adults, that's a recipe for disaster. Instead, use LED lanterns that can run for over 100 hours on a single set of batteries. Headlamps free up your hands and direct light exactly where you need it. Solar lights can charge during the day and light your nights. And crank-powered flashlights never need batteries at all. If you absolutely must use candles, keep them on non-flammable surfaces, away from high-traffic areas, and never, ever leave them unattended. Mistake number 8, treating the blackout like a vacation. I get it, but this is where normalcy bias becomes deadly. Every minute you spend relaxing is a minute lost preparing for what could become a prolonged crisis. Here's the harsh reality. The average household has about 3 days of food. Cities typically have 3 to 5 days of supplies before stores run completely bare. So while you're treating this like a forced break from technology, supply chains are already starting to break down. The people who survive blackouts best are those who act immediately, not those who wait to see what happens. Fill those water containers, charge those devices, check your pantry and move perishables to the coldest spots. Touch base with neighbors and family. Every proactive step you take now could mean the difference between comfort and crisis later. Now let's talk about generators, because this next mistake kills people every year. Mistake number 7, draining your generator. A generator feels like your trump card, your get-out-of-jail-free pass, but it's not a substitute for the entire electrical grid, and treating it like one will leave you worse off than if you never had it at all. Here's the math that'll shock you. A typical 5,000-watt generator burns about 3/4 of a gallon of gas per hour. That's 18 gallons per day if you run it continuously. And here's the problem. Gas stations can't pump fuel without electricity. After Hurricane Sandy, people waited up to 6 hours for fuel, and that's if it was even available. But the bigger danger is carbon monoxide poisoning. Generators produce this odorless, colorless killer, and every year people die because they run generators too close to their homes. Others die from fire hazards when they store gasoline improperly. The right way to use a generator? Run it in scheduled bursts, just enough to keep your fridge cold, charge devices, and power absolute essentials. Store fuel in approved containers away from living spaces and rotate your stock regularly. Use extension cords and power strips to maximize what you can run during each session. Remember, a generator is a rationing tool, not a lifestyle replacement. Mistake number 4, leaving your home exposed. Blackouts don't just change what happens inside your home, they transform what happens outside too. No street lights, no security systems, no cameras. Darkness creates cover, and desperation makes people bold. The evidence is chilling. During the 1977 New York City blackout, looting and arson erupted within hours. 1,600 stores were damaged, and 3,700 people were arrested in a single night. In modern cities, we see the same pattern. Petty theft, burglary, and vandalism spike when visibility and deterrence vanish. So how do you secure your home? Lock every door and window, even the ones you think are inaccessible. Close curtains and blinds to prevent outsiders from seeing inside. Use battery-powered motion lights at entry points. Keep flashlights in every major room. And most importantly, build relationships with your neighbors. Informal watch systems are your best defense. Community isn't just nice to have in a blackout, it's security. Mistake number 5, burning through batteries like they're unlimited. When the lights go out, people grab every battery-powered device and run them at full blast. But batteries are a finite resource, and most people exhaust them in the first 24 hours. Let me give you some sobering numbers. An LED flashlight burns through AA batteries in just 6 to 8 hours of continuous use. FEMA recommends having enough batteries for at least 72 hours of sustained use, but fewer than 15% of U.S. households actually meet this standard. So how do you make your power last? Control your usage. Use task lighting, not flood lighting. Light up only what you're working on, not entire rooms. Diversify your power sources with solar lanterns, crank-powered flashlights, and rechargeable battery packs. Store batteries correctly in cool, dry places and rotate your stock regularly. And here's a pro tip. Tape spare battery sets directly to your devices so you're never scrambling in the dark. Light equals safety. Don't waste it. Mistake number 4, completely misunderstanding how refrigeration works. Many people think food stays safe for days without power, but the reality is much scarier. The moment power dies, you're on a countdown clock, and most people don't even know it's ticking. According to the USDA, perishable food that rises above 40 degrees Fahrenheit for more than 2 hours enters what they call the danger zone for bacterial growth. After major disasters like Katrina and Maria, food poisoning cases skyrocket because people eat spoiled food without realizing it. Here's your strategy. Consolidate all perishables and move them to the coldest part of your fridge and freezer. Use an actual thermometer. Don't guess about temperatures. When you have to eat stored food, follow the order. Most sensitive items first, then work your way to frozen goods. Have a cooler and ice ready to transfer absolute essentials if the outage continues. Refrigeration isn't just about keeping food cold, it's a race against time, and bacteria always wins if you don't respect the rules. Now we're getting to the mistakes that actually kill people every single year. Mistake number 3, cooking indoors with outdoor equipment. In every major blackout, someone makes this fatal error. They haul a charcoal grill, propane camping stove, or portable heater indoors to cook food or stay warm. This isn't just dangerous, it's often deadly. Charcoal, propane, and wood-burning equipment produce carbon monoxide, an odorless, colorless gas that can kill you quickly and silently. You won't smell it, you won't see it, and by the time you feel symptoms like dizziness or nausea, it might be too late. Open flames in confined spaces also create massive fire hazards. The rule is simple and non-negotiable. Keep all fuel-burning equipment at least 20 feet away from doors, windows, and vents. If you're using any fuel-based cooking or heating systems, invest in battery-powered carbon monoxide detectors. For indoor cooking, stick to safe options like canned heat, alcohol stoves, or electric hot plates that you can run off a generator or battery pack in short bursts. Don't add accidental poisoning to your list of blackout worries. Mistake number 2, ignoring temperature control. Most people assume their house will stay comfortable for a while after the power goes out, but without heating or air conditioning, indoor temperatures quickly drift toward whatever's happening outside, and that can kill you faster than you think. During heat waves, indoor temperatures can hit triple digits within hours. In winter storms, homes can drop below freezing in less than a day. This isn't theoretical. Hundreds of people died during the 2021 Texas freeze, and hundreds more died in the 1995 Chicago heat wave. Many of these deaths happened inside people's own homes. The key is acting fast. Immediately close all curtains and blinds. Use blankets or even aluminum foil on windows for extra insulation. Confine your living space by sealing off unused rooms with blankets or plastic sheeting. It's much easier to heat or cool one small area than an entire house. Layer clothing and use safe heating methods for warmth. In extreme heat, use battery-powered fans, keep shades drawn during the day, and only open windows when it's cooler outside. Temperature control isn't about comfort, it's about survival. And now, the deadliest mistake of all. Mistake number 1, treating the blackout like a temporary blip. This is the root cause of every other mistake on this list. The most dangerous mindset you can have is assuming the power will be back on soon. This leads to deadly inaction, wasted resources, and missed opportunities to prepare for what might become a prolonged crisis. While you're being patient and optimistic, here's what's actually happening. Stores are being cleaned out within hours. Gas stations that can still pump fuel are creating massive lines. ATMs stop working, and cash becomes the only currency that matters. The people who wait to see what happens are the ones who get left behind. The winning strategy is simple. The moment the power goes out, assume it won't come back for at least 72 hours. Act immediately to secure water, food, light, and safety. Prioritize the basics. Water first, then food preservation, then lighting and communication. Check on vulnerable neighbors and family members before conditions get worse. You don't get points for patience during a blackout. You survive by moving fast, thinking ahead, and avoiding the mistakes that history has shown can be fatal. The modern world runs on electricity, and when that foundation cracks, survival isn't about luck, it's about preparation, quick thinking, and smart decision-making. Every mistake I've just shared with you is completely avoidable, but only if you know what to watch out for. Here's my challenge to you. Treat every power outage as practice for the real thing. Build these habits now, not when you're sitting in the dark wondering what to do next. Stock up on batteries and keep water containers handy. Get to know your neighbors and have a solid plan for food, lighting, and security. Because when the lights go out, and they will go out again, you'll be ready, not just to survive, but to help others do the same. The blackout clock doesn't start ticking when the power dies. It starts with your very first move. Make it count. If this video opened your eyes to how unprepared most people really are, hit that like button and subscribe to Food Fixer. We're here to make sure you and your family are ready for whatever life throws at your way. Because in a world that runs on electricity, the prepared don't just survive, they thrive. Stay safe out there.